Today we're going to do problem 2455, the average value of even elements that are divisible by 3. This is a Leetcode easy. It's a new problem, fresh off the dot, and it should be pretty approachable, right? This is the kind of problem that I imagine is probably very, very, very simple. Okay, so so you're given an integer array nums of positive integers. Return the average value of all even integers that are divisible by 3. Note that the average of n elements is the sum of the n elements divided by n and rounded down to the nearest integer. Okay, well, we're going to have to look through each num in nums, right? So we need to look at each individual num and make a decision if it's going to be a part of this average. Well, what does it mean for a num to be a part of an average, this average? Well, there's a filter, right? There's a filter that determines whether or not this number is considered a candidate in this solution, right? So, well, the num has to be even. Now, in order for a number to be even, that's identical to saying that the num divided by 2 equals 0. Also, it has to be even and it has to be divisible by 3. So num divided by 2 equals 3. Or num divided by 3 equals 0. Right? Well, if a num divided by 2 if a num mod 2 equals 0 and a num mod 3 equals 0, I keep saying divide, I mean mod. If a num mod 2 equals 0 and a num mod 3 equals 0, well, that also means that the num mod 6 equals 0. Right, so that's just a factor of modular arithmetic. You can kind of think it through, right? If something's divisible by 6, then it has to be divisible by the components of 6, which are 3 times 2. So then it must be divisible by 3 and 2. So if something's divisible by 3 and 2, you can also just say that it's divisible by 6 equals 0. Then this is a candidate, right? Well, you could just say not num mod 6, just to be a little more cute. And then what are you going to do? Well, you'll have a count. Well, you have n elements, I'm just using this language here, and you have a sum, and that equals 0, 0. If the num meets the conditions, well, then we'll have an additional number, and we'll add that to our sum, that num. And we'll just make this even just a little shorter because we just really like short solutions using Python. It makes us feel good, so we're going to do that. And this can go on one line. Now at the end, now that we've determined the total sum, well, we could return the sum floor divide because we're rounding down. So this will floor divide. So if it's like 7 divided by 3, right, that's like 3 times 2.5. It'll just round down to 2. So sum divided by n. Well, the one issue here is there are cases where there are no numbers that meet the condition. So you don't want to divide by 0 and return an error because you can't divide by 0. So we'll just have an additional condition at the end and say if not n, so there's no n that met this condition, so n never gets updated. So there's no candidate, we just return 0. Otherwise, we return the sum divided by n. Yeah, and then you just keep hitting submit until you get a good looking runtime so you can brag to your friends. Oh, that's not good. Come on. You gotta believe. Magic. Hit it with the magic. Wait, you have to wait a second. Hit it with the magic. 85%. Good enough for me. That's a B. See you later, guys.